Hi everyone, welcome back to Naomi's Bookshelf. We are going to do a mini mid-month check-in, currently reading, little wrap-up, and maybe a mini life update. It's been a little bit of a crazy November so far, so let's just get into what I've been doing so far. So we'll just jump into what I've read so far this month. The first of which was The Four Loves by C.S. Lewis. This was an audio that I listened to. It came up from the library, finally a hold. And this was actually an audio that he narrated of his own book. And I found it to be a really great audiobook to listen to. I've been working my way slowly through C.S. Lewis's work. And this one just popped up as another one that was available, and it was nonfiction. And it was really interesting to listen to him talk about the four different types of love that do exist in our world, whether it be familial or friendship or romantic or godly love. So I really liked how he talked about it. He also was very logical and very factual about it. And I really did enjoy that because I'm a very logical person. So to hear that, it was very great to hear that side of it. And then he comes down to the part of where you can just really accept it or refuse it. And I really do appreciate how he broaches these discussions about things related to faith or these tough topics. The other thing that I listened to so far this month was The Guest List by Lucy Foley. Now this was a full cast narration, which I really enjoyed. I thought it was a really great casting choice to have everyone be different. There is a wide range of characters and they all have their own narration chapters. This takes place on a small island off the coast of Ireland where there is a wedding taking place, and you see different people's perspectives as you find out that someone has been murdered, but then you also, or someone has died. It's a murder, be honest. And then you find out, like flashing back to the day before or 2 days before, and they're working your ways towards the mystery, what has happened. So it's kind of it's not really mysterious. In some ways it was, but I feel like it was just so tropey for thrillers that I didn't really enjoy it. And I feel like I could relate to some characters, or I could feel empathy for some characters, and I don't need a likable character. But I do need some believability to a certain extent in a thriller, and this was not it. I also kind of need, I don't know what I need, but it was just, this was too much of a book. In the end, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 stars instead of a 4. It was a 4 until about 2/3 of the way in, and then it started to plummet. So I'm giving it a 3, which was disappointing, but yeah. Another book that I have read so far this month, the only other book I finished so far this month, was The Bat by Jo Nesbo, which I cannot find my copy of because it's probably here, which I'll explain in a minute. So I buddy read this with Berna from Berna's Bookish Adventures, and I really enjoyed this one. It was not as good as the first Harry Hole book that I read, which was The Snowman, which was later in the series. This is book 1 that we read. But it followed Harry as he goes to Australia, and he's like a 34-year-old, I think it was that he said, they said that he was, and he is like going there to help solve the murder of someone of his countrywoman, and the fire's revving up, and he is kind of gets sucked into this serial killer storyline. It was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the folklore elements of the book. It was not as perfect as I would have liked it to be. There were weak points, but I think overall I'm giving it like a 3 out of 5, more like a 3.5. But I don't think it deserves a 4, so I'm not giving it a 4. But I am intrigued to read more from the series in the future, as I did really enjoy The Snowman, and I did enjoy this one. It was just not as strong as book whatever 8, I think The Snowman is. I looked it up since filming my TBR, so I think it's book 8 or something. But yeah, it's not as strong, and it was obviously a first book of this genre for the author, but I do recommend it, and it was an interesting one. So let's move into what I'm currently reading. I have a few things on the go. I have Unbroken. I am buddy reading this. with one of my subscribers on Instagram. So thank you for buddy reading this with me. I really do appreciate it, like I've mentioned before. We have, I have actually up to date. So we have 100 pages left in my copy that I have left to read. So it's a heavy read. This is like gut punching. It's so difficult to read this, but at the same time, it's just like the willpower of this man, of Louis. It's incredible. So this one follows Louis, who is incredibly strong-willed. Even as a child, it talks about his childhood at the beginning. He's an incredibly strong-willed child. And as a child care worker, he sounds like a nightmare to some regards, and his parents struggled so much with him. And he just is so difficult for them. But it shows that it gives him character. So he is very determined and resilient. And then when he is drafted into the army after being an Olympian, and his plane goes down and he survives 40-something days in the ocean, he goes to a Japanese camp, and this is mostly about that. It was also about surviving the ocean and the between ocean and camp, which was crazy in and of itself. But this is quite a powerful story, and I'm glad I finally am reading it, to be honest. So I will be glad to when I finally finish the last 10 chapters. I think I'm in the home stretch. I have the last 9 chapters and the epilogue to read. So I'm very excited to get to that, and then it'll be, homecoming and all those things. So I'm excited to get to those sections, but man, this guy, the things he's lived through, it's incredible. So I highly recommend reading this, although massive trigger warnings for everything, I think. Wow. Real horrible stuff. The next thing I have, on maybe a little lighter note, I don't really know, is something that has been, it's definitely a lighter note, is this Chronic Illness Walking by Faith by Esther Smith. I am reading, obviously this is a devotional, so this is like a one day at a time reading this. I'm reading this with Christy Lewis, Discography in Space. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. And Kate Howe are reading this one day at a time and discussing it weekly if we can. And it's been really great to read this together and discuss it and just look at chronic illness through eyes of the Bible. So really enjoying this. It's really been enlightening. And then I'm also listening to The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins still. I'm hit halfway and I am loving it. I just need enough time to listen to it. So now on to a mini life update. In case you've noticed, I have not been present really on YouTube. I posted videos, but I have not been responding to comments. I have not been watching any videos or commenting on anything. I have not watched a YouTube video in 2 weeks. I have so many notifications to go through and it is like overwhelming. But this is all because my health has not been super strong, but mostly importantly, I have a sister who just got married. Elise, who's been in several videos of mine, got married on November 14th. It was very exciting. It was a wonderful, magical day, and she pulled this wedding together in like 10 weeks. And during COVID and all these precautions, but it was so wonderful to be a part of her day and to be a bridesmaid with my sister and cousin and another friend. We all were able to have such a fun time supporting her in this. And because of that, literally the bachelorette life happened, last minute things, family visiting because of this, and like prioritizing hall setup. I have not been able to be active at all with community on this platform. So thank you for sticking around if you are still with me. I've been trying to post regularly even if I haven't been able to check in, but I will definitely be catching up over this week. I'm hoping to be caught up soon, I really hope. Another thing that is on my mind is now that my sister has moved out, I have bookshelves that I want to move. So we will do a little camera swirl. These are my bookshelves over there that I film in front of. I will not be filming over there. There's awful lighting and it's not really great space. So I'm gonna be moving my bookshelves over here, which means I have not been putting books back. So all of my books are here that I have been taking off my shelves for videos or filming. I've just stacked them. So the bat is somewhere in this mix. I guarantee it. I think the woman in white is as well. I'm listening to that one on audio. So basically, I have a lot of things to do. I am finally able to have some time, but I have like now real life things like a dentist appointment tomorrow morning and book club tomorrow night. And it's a lot of life stuff, but I'm happy that, you know, we can get back into normal routine in my life and then I can get back into the booktube community full force. I didn't want to take away time from my sister and taking away time from our time together as her final days living with me. I wanted to really enjoy that time with her. So this is now the time to catch up on life essentially. So like I said, thank you for sticking with me. I hope that this will be a thing shortly arranged. Also, I'm planning on doing some form of Bookmas, which will look like, I don't know, maybe 12 days of Christmas videos, but I'm not doing 24 days of Christmas because I don't have the mental capacity to do that this year. But I do plan on doing something this year. So we'll see how that goes. Also, another life potential, we'll see if it's a hiccup, is that my parents might be moving in here to just temporarily until I go back to the Caribbean as missionaries. So it might be interesting with filming setup and spatial, I don't know, design, but we will figure this out. And basically, life is unexpected and life is unpredictable, but I'm glad that life is a little calm now and we can get back into a little normal routine. So thank you for watching this video all the way to the end if you have. Please comment down below if you would like about, I don't know, if I should do Bookmas even. I would like to hear ideas, if even video ideas for Bookmas, because I'm struggling to come up with what exactly I will do for that. If there's anything you'd like me to show for Bookmas, please leave a comment down below about that. Also give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you are new here. I will see you next time with another video. Bye for now.